As we mentioned then, Liverpool top of the table going into the new year, Stevie. Who are you most worried about?
Well, if I'm a Liverpool fan right now, I've got to be kind of thinking about what's going on with Manchester United. You look at Liverpool's result today, and you look at Man United's result yesterday. Now, a performance today from one team that completely dominated the game, should have won very, very comfortably, but yet end up with no points. And then you've got a team in Man United coming up on the rails who pretty much didn't deserve. There's no way they deserve to win this game, but they end up winning and getting the 3 points. So that has to be a concern. But listen, at the end of the day, Liverpool and Jürgen will be looking at themselves, trying not to look elsewhere and just get the job done. But you have to be concerned with United, because regardless of how they play right now, they're getting victories.
I know it's Chelsea next for City, and that game looks like it'll go on because the COVID cases at City have been, well, the club are back in training. They play Chelsea the weekend, a huge game for both, particularly Lampard. But you mentioned it upstairs, 2 games in hand in Liverpool, they go a point behind. And they have got, United have been getting the results, but City have the squad. I mean, that's without De Bruyne playing great and without Aguero. And they're keeping clean sheets. So, United are on the rails.
Craig,
Craig,
City as the team, that's for sure. But City is going through the COVID problem for some players. How they're going to react about that, we don't know. I was with you. I was thinking that they will be the bigger threat for Liverpool. But now that so many players have gone through COVID and therefore cannot train properly, how will be the form and the fitness of all players when they're going to come back, play maybe against Chelsea or maybe the game after, and get really tired because they couldn't have the proper preparation?
Yeah, but we can't have it both ways, Frank, because this is a period where every Tom, Dick and Harry has been complaining about being tired.
Right.
I know the COVID scenario is not ideal for. I don't know exactly what players have it and what their symptoms are, but if it's a lack of training, which obviously has been the case because they had to close the training ground, then the players that haven't been affected are getting a rest. Now, this Christmas and New Year period for everybody that's played in the Premier League, and that's everybody on this broadcast, apart from yourself, would tell you that that's the most difficult period because of no rest. So it's kind of 6 and 2 threes. Problem with the COVID, other players get a rest.
Right. Jürgen, just same question to you regarding the biggest challenger for Liverpool. Who do you think it is?
Well, on the paper, certainly it is Man United at the moment. But I think, if you look at the table overall, there's 7 points between Liverpool and the 9th place team. So things will happen. Obviously, there are some teams with 1 or 2 games in hand. So it will be hopefully for us fans, it will be an open race until the very end. I think the biggest challenge for the coaching staffs, no matter if you're now Jürgen Klopp or Pep Guardiola or Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, is how to manage your environment on the inside. I think you don't look too much now at the other teams. What are they doing? How do they get through this very difficult time period? It's how you manage your entire roster. COVID comes along, but there are so many issues that you have on the table every morning when you get to the office that you need to solve within your own environment that you don't even have the time to think about, okay, what are the other teams are doing? And I think there, in that regard, Jürgen Klopp is very, very experienced. He knows exactly what's going on the inside. He's very positive always in finding solutions when things don't go the right way. Like he did, I think, in his interview today, he stayed positive. He knew that he should have used the chances. Especially Salah had 300% chances, but he was not mad at anybody. He said the performance overall was all right. We should have scored, but he stayed positive. So I think the management on the inside becomes far more important than looking at the outside, what the other teams are doing.
Look, Man United are going great. It's going to be close this year.
Well, that's what we want, from our point of view.
Well, as good as it was watching City and Liverpool, and it was magnificent stuff from both these teams. I mean, probably won't see it again on a regular basis, that's for sure. But I expect City to improve. I expect Liverpool to improve because that's what their coach and their team is all about. I expect United to hang around for the time being, particularly if Bruno Fernandes stays fit. right? And Rashford stays fit. That's the key for them because they're average in midfield, right? It's the front line that gets the job done, that attacking side of the game. I expect Chelsea to turn it around. If not, Frank Lampard is in trouble. There's no doubt about that because the owner doesn't suffer fools and he doesn't spend a couple of $100 million plus and then be sitting 5th or 6th. Sure. So he has to turn it around. What the hell's going to happen with Tottenham? We don't know. I mean, you could throw the balls up in the air there. We know the way they're going to play, but we don't know what the results are going to be. Villa are sort of hanging around. I expect them to sort of drop off as good as it is. So there's 5 or 6 teams. I don't expect Everton to be there for the long run, but there's 5 or 6 teams probably with the potential to put pressure on. And that's what we're seeing at the moment. There's a bit more pressure on Liverpool because their form, particularly on the road, hasn't been great. And as Stevie said, apart from that Palace games, the goals have dried up a little bit for some of the key players.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.